This is the 2022 Ford F-150 Tremor, covered in Atlas blue, and we're going to be taking it on a quick adventure with both on-road and off-road driving, along with some fishing and some sand driving along the beach to figure out whether this is worth the $53,000 price tag or whether you should just upgrade to the Raptor. Alright, before we get to the fun off-roading, we gotta be realistic because most of you guys are gonna be spending 90% of the time on paved roads. After driving the Raptor recently though, I find this far more livable in terms of road noise and ride comfort. The suspension is unique for the Tremor, unlike any other F-150, and is set up for both street and trail use, not just Baja style sand dune airtime like the Raptor. Under the hood is a 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 with twin turbos outputting 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. When you throw it in sport mode, it actually engages for auto, which is a bit weird because in the past sport is usually just too high, but for the Tremor, the computer distributes power front and rear accordingly, which effectively pushes and pulls you out of the corners. Given how big and heavy this truck is, it actually hooks around these corners amazingly. I'm actually quite impressed with how it does here. The EPA says that you'll do 18 miles per gallon, but we did manage to get about 22 miles per gallon throughout the day, which is quite impressive given that it's a full-size pickup truck that makes 400 horsepower. In my opinion, I think it sounds better than the Raptor. It kind of gurgles like a V8 under idle and low revs, and it doesn't get raspy or loud like the Raptor does when you're at wide open throttle. The interior, as with any F-150, is spacious, comfortable, and well built with rugged materials. And the Tremor does have unique stitching and badging around the interior, along with some unique features only for the Tremor. The gear shifter folds flat with the table that comes out, which at first I thought was kind of gimmicky, but I ended up using it a lot more, getting some work done on my laptop or just as a table for food. So the Tremor is equipped with Blue Cruise. It is an autonomous driving system much like Cadillac Super Cruise, where they map out most major American and Canadian freeways and work in conjunction with the adaptive cruise control radar and the lane keep assist camera, where you don't have to keep your hands on the wheel at all. There are two sensors in the truck that track your eye movement to make sure you're not sleeping or distracted, but I do find it a bit sensitive at times. When you're just looking at the dashboard for 2 seconds, it will trigger a warning to watch the road. Blue Cruise will be a subscription service costing $600 for 3 years. Overall, I find it working great, not only for long drives like today, but also in traffic where you can just let the truck do its thing. Now that we're at the trail, we're going to put it in mud and ruts, which puts the vehicle in 4 high, and we're going to see how it does. There is a rock crawl mode which puts it into 4 low with advanced track off and the diff automatic lock, and different modes such as sand, which disables ABS so you don't dig into the terrain when you're coming to a stop. But because we are on a mile trail today, I don't think we even need mud and ruts at all. We could probably do this in eco mode with this truck, but we're gonna put in mud and ruts anyways. The Tremor does sit an inch higher than a regular F-150, and the suspension is tuned not just for the street but for the trail as well. There is also a skid plate and 2 recovery hooks, and it does maneuver and feel easier to drive around here than a Raptor because it is not nearly as wide, but you still have almost the same ground clearance. The 360 camera does help a lot, especially for tight maneuvers or just going over hills where seeing over the hood can be challenging. It does have a washer spray for the front camera if it gets dirty, and you do have many other views, including one that you can attach on a trailer or whatever you're towing. There are features that don't exist on the Raptor, like trail assist that maintains speed down a hill or through a trail, so you can focus on just the steering, but there aren't really any steep hills around here, so we're just going to do it manually. Trail turn assist is also not available on the Raptor. It was brought over here from the Bronco, where you can lock the inner rear wheel and allow other wheels to spin freely, so you can sort of pull yourself around a corner, which does come in handy, especially trying to turn on tight corners. Overall though, most people aren't taking their trucks on anything more rough than this, and for this kind of off-roading, I find it more useful than the Raptor anyways. If you are really into off-roading though, I would recommend you check out the Bronco instead, especially the new Bronco Raptor, which just came out. Anyways, here are some cool shots of the Tremor off-roading. So we are fishing by the shore today, but if you did have a boat or anything you can tow, it is capable of 11,000 pounds, which is 3,000 pounds more than the Raptor because of the rear suspension difference. You also have Pro Trailer Assist and brake controller and other towing features, just as most F-150s do nowadays. The truck bed is a multifunction work bed with measurements, mounts for tools, and a phone holder, just in case you're watching a video on how to build a house because you lied on your resume. My favorite thing though is the beer bottle opener right here on the side. There is also bed lighting along with the tailgate step for easier access. This is also equipped with Pro Power on board with 2.0 kilowatts of power to run your equipment or pretty much anything for that matter. You can control it through Sync 4. There is a generator mode for all 2.0 kilowatts of power. With it off, it only supports 200 watts of power. While we're here, I gotta say Sync 4 is one of the easiest dumb-proof systems to use. Everything's pretty easy to click and navigate through. You also have a partition zone on the right side where you can choose to have different things, such as your Pro Power on board or the bed cam, which you can leave on while driving to make sure that your stuff is secured in the back. So we're gonna end our day here at the beach, watching the sun go down, start a campfire, roast marshmallows, and hopefully see some stars tonight. It's a whole different experience when you have a vehicle capable enough of getting you right by the shore while you sit on the truck bed and watch the sunset and stars come up. For most people though that aren't catching air in the Sahara Desert with their Raptor, the Tremor is more than capable of tackling some of the roughest trails out there. Its size advantage, trail assist features, and day-to-day road livability makes it the best do-it-all truck you can get right now. If I'm being completely honest, even though I don't need a truck, I do really want a Tremor just for the unmatched experiences and vibes like the one we're having right now. So if you are actually in the market for a truck, I say the Tremor is ultimately the most well-rounded truck, and I have no doubt that if you did pick the Tremor, you'll absolutely love it.